sales? How can salespeople become better at selling? This is an important question. I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. And the answer that I'm going to give you for this may be a little bit different than what you thought. I'm going to say that if you want to improve your selling skills, your abilities, and your techniques, the first thing you got to do is be able to listen. And I see so many people, so many salespeople go into sales sabotage because they've been through one deal and in their mind they're comparing it to another and they automatically start talking, they automatically start giving a solution, they automatically start trying to fix a problem without really understanding what's going on with the buyer. Now, you may hear the phrase, the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? That is true. The fortune is in the follow-up phone call, the follow-up email, the follow-up chat, the follow-up message. That is one aspect, but the fortune of the follow-up is also in the follow-up question. And if you could get people talking and explaining their position when you're asking questions, it is a form of control. And so one of the things that I have found is the two most powerful forms of communication are questions and stories. And you could tell a story, but remember, you're talking, but if you're telling a covert story that has some sort of hidden meaning, that person's going to start asking you questions and you can start asking them about that story, okay? The other thing is well thought out questions. Now my phone is over there on a chair right now, but what I do is I keep a Word doc on the front of my phone, one for videos that I want to shoot and one for questions or word tracks that come up that I hear, and I'm like, oh, that was a good question. I pick up a lot of fantastic questions from Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil hardly ever loses his cool, but he always has really good questions. So if you're like, hey Scott, where can I learn some sales processes? Learn how to listen better. And I'm going to teach you a sales technique, right? I'm going to teach you something that you could do. So either you're going to sit for 1 or 2 seconds longer than you normally would when somebody tells you something, start to do this in low value conversations, start to do this where things are a sales process just to get used to it. And you're going to find that if you're quiet for 1 or 2 seconds longer, people start opening up and giving you more information because they're nervous. And because they're nervous, they keep talking, and because they keep talking, they give up the gold, okay? So the other thing is to learn how to ask a question, say, that's interesting, can you tell me more, can you share some more with me? Get them to open up some more to get them to talk. Remember, the talk ratio for you versus the talk ratio for them, there is something in the sales process that realistically you want them to keep talking. You want them to tell you what's going on. And anything that they tell you, you could go back and have a conversation about and say, tell me how you feel that way. You could wrap it up in emotions. You could take it from logic to emotions, because using emotions in sales happens when you have enough information from the buyer. Otherwise, you get sales sabotage. You got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button and click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent out another fantastic video. You should check it out, which you should. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. Aloha.